Oh my goodness. I'm trying it again. This time we're calling it Comedy Moments 1. The first one was called Comedy Moments. I am so creative. I did a video. I tried to be funny. It failed. I'm trying to be funny again. It's not working very well at all. I'm laughing at myself. No one else is. Well, anyhow, I think I kept the same title. The libtarbs have destroyed everything. I just wanted to expound on that. Expound on that. Look that one up. I mean, some of you guys, your vocabulary doesn't go past four-letter words and some cursing or cursing, I mean, four-letter words are cursing. Well, not have. Have's a four-letter word. It's not cursing. The haves, the haves, the haves, and the have-nots. And it's interesting of the 30 some years that Rush Limbaugh started the megalomaniac conservative empire. And it is admirable. If I was a scam artist and wanted to take a bunch of money from corporate America and do it in the nicest way I could, freaking Rush Limbaugh nailed it. I mean, my late sister loved Rush Limbaugh. God bless her and God bless him. I think maybe but we've got a worse bunch, right? We've got a worse bunch of conservatives now. They don't want to share one penny. I mean, it's like the Chuck Norris of finance. Everybody's Chuck Norris in finances. They're like, I mean, can you kind of like make a picture of this? You're like a karate kid standing on an account ledger, like, you shall not get one more penny. You will get no more expenses, and you will be beaten by the Chuck Norris of all time on the account ledger. I am the super accountant. I mean, we even made a movie about accountants with Ben Affleck as a heroic accountant. All I got to say is news flash, we have AI now, artificial intelligence. You can be an idiot rich kid or anything, and you don't have to work on yourself. You know, at least the accountant was kind of entertaining. Anyhow, I need to get back to being a libtard, or at least talking about libtards. I mean, I'm confused. I'm trying to be funny. I told you in my last video, it's not even really a video because you don't even get to see who I am. All I can do is say, by the son of a famous comedian. Who the hell would that be? Well, let me try another train of thought because I've gotten confused and I'm probably confusing you. This is Comedy Moments 1. If you miss Comedy Moments that didn't have a 1 or a Roman numeral in it, you need to go back and watch that one. Hit subscribe and what is it? Hit the like button. They always say I'm trying to be one of those guys, right? You know you're in trouble when somebody does that. They're running out of humor, aren't they? But it's not really so funny when you see years go by and people see themselves living and living and living and no money, 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 no everything else but no money. Problems, troubles, maybe a smile on the street, but no money, no money. You cannot have money. I kind of think that's like the golden rule. Those who have gold continue to rule. And then, God, I don't know. You had so many people who escaped Russia. They came over here, and I think they're trying to recreate Russia, but in a different way, like the capitalist version of Russia, right? I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of good Russian people and Eastern Europeans, but I mean, man, I mean, weren't they kind of like, isn't there people even named after Slavs or slaves? And their countries are still like dare I say, I'll just say messed up a little bit. And they're coming over here and they're deciding political policy. I mean, like, could we give it a generation or so, maybe generation or two to let you really figure out what it's like to be an American before you start deciding how our new politics should be? I mean, these are fiscal conservative nuts all over the place. I'm not just blaming the Russians. We have the domestic type, right? The English are some of the best managers of money, and part of that is not letting you have any of it. Yeah, I just picked on the English, God forbid. Anyhow, the Pryor name, maybe I'm a Pryor, I don't know, but the Pryor name is associated with the UK, and we were known to be instrumental in book publishing. So we were very concerned about writing books and people reading and learning. And now we have come to this where we are now, we don't really need to learn. You just need to know how to hit a computer button and use a mouse. And you don't even really need to know how to use a computer. You just need how to run your big mouth and tell AI what it needs to do by getting voice activation on it. Are we getting a generation of idiots? I mean, that might just deviate from the idea of comedy moments. I just asked a kind of serious question. Are we creating a generation of idiots? And it's not even their fault either. I mean, it'd be so easy for me to just, let's blame the young people for everything. It's these young people. They're just the worst people out there. They don't want to pay high rent, and they don't want to have all this high expensive car insurance and drive expensive cars and only have one car and have an expensive apartment they can't even afford. And then they have to go to their grandparents every 2 months to borrow money. Oh my God, is that what is happening? Yeah. Well, meanwhile, while they're borrowing money from their grandparents, they're going to their job acting like they are a responsible adult when they're getting a handout from their grandparents. And they're putting on an act and kind of oppressing their other fellow workers so they can feel like they're supreme. We're supreme. We're supreme. We make all our money. No, we don't. Grandma gives it to us. Think about that shit. I've seen that. I watched this outraged fat guy who just fucking hated me at work, okay? And he hated me. The motherfucker was related to somebody there at work, and they put him in my area. And I was having a good time at my job for the most part. But this guy was a psychopath. He ate everything in sight, and I don't pick on all people who are overweight. It's not their fault. I could afford to lose a few pounds too, but he was a dick. So since he was a dick, he's going to get labeled a dick. But they brought him in to work in my area, and the first day I had to hear him talk about all his bills and why he needed this job, and then he fucking didn't like me. He wouldn't even like look at me, and he only talked to the women at the job, and he just fucking pissed me off. And I'm like, I don't want to work with this fucking retard. I'm educated. He's a fat complainer. He complains about his life. His grandmother and his family, I think, are bankrolling him. He only got the fucking job because his family got him in there, not like me, who wrote a nice resume out and gave a good interview and got hired and didn't fucking tell everybody about my bill problems the first day I came to fucking work. So, anyhow, that wasn't very funny at all, although it could be ironically funny. He wasn't a libtard. I think he was a conservatard, not a libtard. I need to do the conservatards have destroyed everything also, just to be fair. Fair and balanced. Oh my God, don't say that to a rock. A rock can't be fair and balanced. It just lays wherever it's put. But this guy's not a rock. Obviously, people are trying to manipulate things psychologically and get the advantage at the job and get everybody to feel sorry for them. And then you have to work these really bad jobs, and they're creating more bad jobs where you're more suppressed by your coworkers and you have less freedom. And then they often, is this just me, or they actually calibrate how they can get someone next to you to work next to you that you'll hate, and therefore they'll be like, yeah, that's what we want to do because we want to wear down the rough edges. Well, sometimes you try to wear down the rough edges and people just quit. They say, fuck you. That's horrible language. And I don't want to use that all the time. But this is probably not the best things for kids. But this is by the son of a famous comedian. Um, the Richard Pryor story, right? Well, anyhow, he was a great comedian. I have not nearly done any justice to that. Nothing I said was funny. You're not funny. I'm not smiling right now. I'll come back. I'll try this again. I'll try to be funny the next time, okay? This has been a libtard moment from me, sponsored by me, the son of a famous comedian. Signing off.